A good first impression will work wonders for you. Do you agree? Yes. That's why we joined Toastmasters. We want to make good first impressions on the stage. We want to make good first impressions as a leader. We want to make good first impressions everywhere we go. Today it gives me a great pleasure to be here in Tainan to share with you some of my experiences. And my first experience to make a good impression was all the way back in college. University. I'll never forget how scared I was to open the door to my parents' home. Because when I opened the door and I would just take one step in, I would hear, "Zaya! Come here! You know you are going to graduate in 2 months, and you still have no job." All my friends, their sons and daughters, they have job. Huh? Michelle have job. John have job. Everybody have job. You no job. I was completely speechless. But if I could go forward in time, I think he'd sound like Kevin's father. What are you going to do about it, son? Well, Dad, there's a show, there's a trade fair going on, a job fair. I could go there. You better get a job, or you don't come home tomorrow. The next day, I was sure that I was going to make my first best impression. I put on my best suit, and my backpack was filled with resumes. I went to the first booth, the Royal Bank of Canada, the biggest bank of them all. I thought, this is it. "Hi, are there any job openings?" "Well, sir, if you just fill out this application form, we'll take your information, and if there's a job available, we'll be the first one to call you." "I see. You don't sound like a human resources manager." "I'm just a customer service. I tell the customers where to go." "Okay, well, thank you very much." Then I went to the next booth. "Hi, are there any job available?" "Well, sir, if you just fill out this form, we'll be happy to take your information, and a human resources manager will call you if there is a job available." "Okay, so let me guess, you're in customer service?"
Well, how did you know?
All day long, that happened. Could you imagine going to that building from 9 a.m. and going to booth after booth after booth until 4:30 in the afternoon?
Oh, my goodness.
I felt discouraged, disappointed, and I couldn't bear to go home to face my father. But then at the corner of my eye, I saw a bright red booth, one that I hadn't gone to yet, Scotia Bank. I thought, all right, what the heck? I'm going to be a little jerk about this. "Hi, my name is Anson. Nice to meet you. You know, I'm going to graduate in 2 months, and I've been to those other booths, and they didn't impress me at all. They were just all customer service people. But look, I'm going to graduate. I've worked for the government. I've worked in the Department of Finance. I've volunteered for student council, and I've done so many things. But I guess I'm just going to have to fill out this form and wait for human resources to call me." "Well, it's very nice to meet you, Anson. I think human resources might be able to get back to you sooner because my name's Anita Matheson, and I am the human resources for all of Western Canada."
Wow.
"Well, Anson, give me a resume and answer this question for me. When would you like to come to my office to take on on the position of personal banking officer because I would like to offer that position to you.
Wow.
Well, how about right now? Why did you Fellow Toastmasters, I got hired right on the spot.
Wow.
And it was because I made a conscious decision to make a good first impression. Did you know, fellow Toastmasters, that over 50% of communication is done by your body alone? And I realized then that because I walked in a certain way and I talked in a certain way and I looked at her in a certain way, she knew that I was different from everyone else. So it gives me great pleasure It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the techniques to enhance your message using your body. You can do it in so many different ways. And so we're going to go through all of them.
Okay.
In part one, we're going to talk about your attire and your posture and what you can do before your presentation. In the next part, we're going to talk about how you walk and how you stand in front of the crowd, make eye contact, and your handshake. And then in the final part, which is the most important part, when you're on the stage, is how to manage your stage and how to do hand gestures and facial expressions. So are you ready to join me on a journey so that you can make a good first impression that will do wonders for you?
Yes.
Very good. That day was a day that really changed my life, so I hope today it will change yours.
Hey.
So the first thing is about attire. How you look is really important. I know there's a saying, don't judge a book by its cover. But we still do it. Okay?
Yeah.
I remember going to Thailand. And if you've been on a guided tour before, who's been on a tour before? Raise your hand. The tour guide would take you and say, okay, come on over here, follow this way. Okay, we've all been on that. Keep your hand up if you've been on a shopping tour before. Yeah. We know all those shopping tours. There's only 3 things in a shopping tour. Getting on the bus, going to the bathroom, and shopping. Right. So in Thailand, we went to this place, which is a snake factory. Everything that had to do with snakes was made there. Snake belts, snake wallets, snake everything. But this one part of the tour, everyone was whisked into a classroom, kind of like this. Everyone's sitting and waiting. And then in came a young lady. She walked in, and everyone had their eyes on her. Do you know why? Because she was wearing a white coat. Then she started talking about this cream was made out of snake venom. It can cure cancer. This powder, when you put it on your skin, you're going to look like Snow White. And I looked over to my wife and I said, how do I know that she's a medical doctor? Because of her coat? She said, I don't know. Are you going to buy anything? Well, no, because I don't know. She's a real doctor. So I realized how important it is to dress. See, if I told you I'm a doctor, you might think, maybe, I'm not sure. But if I wore a white coat and we're in a hospital, you'd be like, definitely, he is a doctor. He is a doctor. I'll just shoot out some medical terms and you'll think I'm a doctor. So your attire is really, really important to make a first impression, especially about your message. How many of you are single in here? Single? Okay, look around, look around. Okay, look around. Okay, there will be fewer hands up the next time we have a meeting. Okay, when you go on a date, you're gonna wear the best attire, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to give off a good impression about yourself. Essentially, you want to say, I'm someone you can trust, and I would like to have a date with you again, should everything work out, right? So, your attire is really, really important. The next one is posture. Posture is extremely important. I know people who knows people who has this kind of posture? Yeah, especially at work. Yeah, I have so much to do. Right? Posture is so important. It says so much. My wife has awesome postures, but she doesn't want to be a Toastmaster. I really tried to get her to be a Toastmaster, but she is a perfectionist when it comes to postures. See, I could go home and I would know exactly what she's thinking. Are you mad at me? How did you know? You and your Toastmasters. Okay? So posture is really important. I would like everyone to stand up, because this is a group activity. And I'm going to show you what a good posture set looks like. So people in the back, you're going to have to peek over. It's really, really easy. Okay. Your feet, shoulder width. And this might be a little difficult to do in this crowded room, but kind of rock forward and back, and just wait until you reach the center of your feet. That is good posture. Wherever you stand, that's how you stand. Okay? I know some people try to stand on their tippy toes, but the center of your feet. Now, your arms will just fall with your shoulders back. Okay? And that is good posture. Because what happens is, if you have any other kind of posture, people are going to ask you, are you okay? Okay, right? Okay, now, Amy Cuddy is a Harvard University researcher and a wonderful writer. And she said that if you are not feeling well, or you're nervous, or you're stressed, or you're tense, you will be out of posture. But you can use your posture to change your emotions so you can feel happier. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Everyone take your hands and make a diamond. There you go. Then you're going to put that on your hips and roll your shoulders back. Okay. Now, when you do this for 2 minutes, only 2 minutes, your stress levels will go down by 20%, and your confidence level will go up by 20%. And this is all about your hormones, okay? 2 minutes we'll do this. So before your speech, before presentation, I don't know if you saw me over there, I actually did this pose, okay? Now, there's a name for this pose. And men, you gotta accept this name. It's called the Wonder Woman pose. That's right, men embrace it. This is the Wonder Woman pose. And so how this works is that you're gonna feel better on the inside. You'll have better posture on the stage. Okay, you may take a seat. Thank you. I have a very short Tainan story, okay? If you went to the fall conference in 2015, and dear Rosa was the host, she was the MC for me, and yeah, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you, Rosa. Now, I was in a real rush. Imagine the room had more than 3 times this size. And I was getting everything ready, and I was checking the microphone. Like, microphone, check, microphone, check. Only got 1 minute left. And I thought, okay, I better go to the bathroom. So I ran to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, dear God, please give me a big speech. And I run back, and John from Tainan Toastmasters, I'm not sure which club, but I know he's from Tainan. John, he says, hey, Anson, yep, better hurry up. No, Anson, 我们听到很多声音呢.
That's so sexual.
You know how you are so scared that you start speaking another language? Maybe even a language you don't know? And I'm like, don't go. Don't go. Ball calling. And then like my microphone was still on. Then I was out of posture. I was like, and then Rosa saw me and said, let's welcome our champion, Anson! Okay? So, if I was out of posture, I would have told Rosa at that point in time, time out. Okay? But thank God that I was out of the bathroom, was out of range. No one heard anything. Okay? Yes. So posture is really important. Okay, the next one is pre-speech actions. If you want to move your message, you can actually start your presentation before your presentation. Ed Tate, the world champion, came to Kaohsiung, and he did a wonderful workshop about writing a speech. The amazing thing I saw at that workshop was that before he got on the stage, he met the audience. He's like, hi, I'm Ed Tate. Nice to meet you. Your name? What club are you from? Oh, how many years been with Toastmasters? Well, it's very nice to meet you. I really hope you enjoy this presentation. And he went to everybody, young, old, experienced, inexperienced, even young children. He introduced himself. And when I saw that, I thought, he already started his speech before he even did his speech. And so that is an excellent way to get everyone engaged and to make a wonderful first impression. And by the way, it's speech contest time. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
Very good. All right. The second part was inspired by Debbie Drunk from KMU Toastmasters. And she did a wonderful test speech at the fall conference in Taipei. And after her speech, she came up to me and she's like, Anson! I'm like, yeah. I want you to do a workshop at our club. I said, sure. What's the topic? Walking? I'm like, walking? And I thought to myself, you just use your 2 feet. What's with walking, right? And she said, you have a very confident walk. I want all our members to walk like you. And I thought, okay, I'll do a workshop about walking. I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that walking is really important for moving your speech and communicating what is happening. Let me explain. People sometimes walk like this. And then there are people who walk like a duck. And some people, like my parents, like to drag their feet. What kind of messages does that convey, right? So I did a little bit of research, and there is such thing as a good walk, and I'll explain how that works. Men, Daniel Craig should be your role model. Daniel Craig, he's the actor for 007, he's the James Bond, and he has the perfect walk. Okay, so this is what he does. He walks on 2 straight lines. That's it, 2 straight lines. His torso is going to move, and the arms are just going to swing naturally. That's it, okay? Okay, very simple. But for women, I don't know if you know this, women, it's exactly the same, except instead of 2 straight lines, it's 1 straight line. 1 straight line. Oh, okay, you know, okay. You're gonna walk for me later. Okay, so 1 straight line. 1 straight line. And here's the thing. I had a student ask me, "Hey, Anson, why